Welcome to World Cinema Reviews. My name is Frank the Bank, and I will suck your blood. Nah, just kidding. I already ate. Anyhow, I'm glad you guys are here today, YouTubers, because I have a treat for you today. I'm gonna talk about what's being called the worst film of all time, a sci-fi horror incredible tale of weird science and all kinds of weird things, directed by the late Ed Wood Jr. We're going to talk about a labor of love, considered, like I said, to be one of the worst films of all time, but one of the worst directors of all time. So I think I got to tell you my thoughts, but right off the bat, to tell you, I love this film. I freaking love it. I found out first about Ed Wood when of course I saw the feature film by Johnny Depp that brought attention to him. But before that, I was really enjoy watching late Bat movies. Kind of Mystery Science Theater 3000 type of thing. Because you just kind of laugh at the cheese. You just laugh at cheesy movies, cheesy special effects. But Plan 9 from Outer Space is special. Plan 9 from Outer Space, people, it's just awesome. And just for more than one thing, and I'm going to tell you about it. So sit back, relax, and let me tell you why this film is far from being the worst film of all time. It's actually, to me, one of the best cult films of all time. And it's truly a labor of love, and let me explain to you why. First of all, let's tell you that the this film got made in 1959, originally titled Great Rovers from Outer Space. But at that time, that was a kind of a risque title, and you really couldn't try to release it that way. To top it all up, the the film was financed by a Baptist church, if you can actually believe it. Some of the producers were were from a Baptist church and thought that the name Grave Robbers was just sacrilegious, and it just wouldn't fly. So Ed Wood decided to change the name of the film to Plan 9 from Outer Space. Now, this film stars um, several players, but I'm going to call some to the attention here. One of them being the great Thor Johnson. The other one being Mila Nurmi, also known as Vampira. And my favorite player of all, from beyond the grave and a posthumous appearance, Bela Lugosi. So the plot of the film, directed by Wood, um, follows grave rovers from outer space, but there's a reason for that madness to happen. See, it seems like humankind is about to discover some kind of doomsday weapon of horrible, epic destructions that may destroy the universe. This alien race wants to stop the humans from doing it, and therefore had thought of a plan to reanimate uh, corpses, bring back zombies from for the day. I think they call them ghouls in this film, but that's pretty much as a zombie, and from beyond the grave to create chaos and stop the humans from doing this. And it's just it's just every bit as cheesy as you think it is. The special effects are awful. I mean, that's saying lightly. There's several continuity errors that, like for example, some on the same, almost on the same frame of film, you have light and night at the same time. Like you'll see a character, the Bela Lugosi character, at night or in the daytime, and then you'll cut to the same cemetery or whatever, and it's the opposite. If it's night, it's day. If it's day, it's night. There's several boom mics that you can actually see. They didn't even bother to put them out of the way, and there's several other technical errors. There's one time where uh, a police cruiser is rolling down the street going to the cemetery, but once it arrives to the cemetery, it no longer has the sirens that it originally had on the stock footage that they use. So, oh, that's the other thing. The use of stock footage of airplanes and things like that, and cities, and so that way they wouldn't have to actually go there and shoot. So, to explain to you why this film's like I said, cheesy story. Uh, some actors are not even actors. Some of uh, the premise is ridiculous, and the special effects are horrid. So why is this such a huge cult film? Why is it so special? Well, first of all, it's so bad it's good. It's definitely this. If this would be that's one of the examples of being so bad it's good. Is you can actually see the labor of love, and let me tell you why this is awesome. Um, we have Ed Wood had developed this wonderful friendship with the actor Bela Lugosi. To know, of course, you all know Bela Lugosi from the Dracula film in the 1930s, and he got huge status. And for a while, he was so popular. But as time faded away, in the 1940s, and then the 1950s, and then nobody wanted to make monster movies anymore. Nobody wanted to cast him. He was older, and he was sick, and he was addicted to drugs. So it was very sad for him. But Ed Wood recognized that Bela Lugosi was still an awesome actor, still a respectable figure, and a wonderful person. So he looked past that. Ed Wood, being a guy with, personal inner demons, dealt with the pains of being an actual real life cross-dresser, and alcoholic as well. Uh, has his own inner demons. He could understand the problems that Bela was going through, and tried to resurrect his career by casting him in other films such as Bride of the Monster, and uh, his own awesome film Glenn or Glenda. That's another great film that maybe one day we'll get to talk about, by Ed Wood. The wonderful of it is that he didn't want to exploit Bela Lugosi or use his star power. Well, he was using part of it. He needed it to get the film's release and get some backup, financial backup. But he was truly his friend, and according to personal accounts that I have read and heard on the internet, and he really, I believe that he really loved them as a friend, and he wanted to help him out, to bring him to the attention that he wasn't dead, that he was great, and unfortunately, Bela died before the film could get made. Um, so after Bela Lugosi passed away, very little footage had been done by Ed Wood. So there was a big problem. How are we going to make a film with Bela Lugosi in it without Bela Lugosi much in it? So that's the greatness of this film. That's where that's the you see the cape that I started with. That cape was one of the vehicles that he used, that Ed Wood's own chiropractor, he asked him to fill in, and and go ahead and actually put the cape over his face, only showing his eyes, and he said, oh, you kind of look like him, and because he was tall and slender like Lugosi, supposedly nobody was going to notice it. Of course everyone noticed, But the but the let's talk about Bela Lugosi's acting on that little bit that he acts. The little scenes that he's got, and their count maybe 5 scenes, and they're very, I don't know, under 2 minutes long. But they're so well done. He doesn't speak in this, and Bela Lugosi was such a tremendous actor that they're so powerful. And Criswell, the narrator, which is an actual psychic, okay, this makes you, the idea that Ed Wood just will hire anybody, and he kind of like attracted strange and unusual people just like himself, which kind of like strange and unusual, such as Tim Burton and Johnny Depp. So kind of fits in that. That's why that film was so successful as well. Uh, that created awesome gold. Um, the Vampira TV, I think it's a kind of a TV personality. I want to say, correct me if I'm wrong. Kind of like Elvira, sort of an early Elvira. Um, hosting bad horror films or something like that. That's what she was, and she had no. I think she demanded to have a non-speaking role on that movie, and I think that it wasn't going to work anyways because she's just a reanimated corpse anyhow. And Thor Johnson, the retired wrestler, it looks really creepy. That's the one thing that's is scary. If there's something scary about this film, besides looking at Bela Lugosi, the little things, that it's looking at Thor Johnson looks really, really creepy. But funny at the same time, and such a gigantic wrestler. I think it was like 400 pounds, and this film is just so weird, unusual. One of the great things is seeing the special effects of the flying saucers going over it. It's just a special kind of cheese that just works. Even though there's no money for this movie, there's no, Ed Wood poured his heart and soul. This was like his Citizen Kane. I mean, the speeches that he wrote are awesome. I mean, just listen to the dialogue. Go to watch this film and just listen to, anything from the original narration to talking about the old man, which is played by Bela Lugosi, and the I want to say the name of the chiropractor here. His name was Tom Mason. So Tom Mason, those scenes when they go out and they narrate, and they're just awesome. It's just so weird, so campy, so delicious. It's just awesome, man. You just gotta eat this film up. And if I want to mention something, it's just that Ed Wood was just very underappreciated. He died, unfortunately, of he broke, was an alcoholic, and it's very sad. So, but this film was just pure gold. You cannot watch this film and go through so many emotions. I went watching this film and I was like, Bela Lugosi, wow, that's one of my emotions. Then I went like, I laughed at the stupid special effects. Then I went like, I saw Thor Johnson. I said, wow, that dude looks creepy. And then I look at Vampire and says, wow, she looks creepy. Just a little bit attractive. And then I'm going all these really weird feelings going into my head, and I'm thinking, why am I experiencing all these great things? Why this is bringing all kinds of emotions? And I thought Ed Wood wanted me to experience all those things. Ed Wood wanted to get in there and pour his heart and soul, help his friend from beyond the grave to finish the film that he intended to do, resurrect his career, and make a wonderful film. And you know what? He did. Ed Wood, we miss you. I'm sorry you didn't have enough money and resources. Who knows what you would have been able to do if you had been given what a decent director would do. That's why I get so mad at bad films, because some people waste opportunities. But Ed Wood took it seriously. But this film, you don't have to take it seriously. Enjoy it, love it, just like I did. This vampire signs up saying, watch this film and enjoy it. That was it. That's what it was meant for. Take care and sweet dreams.